A narcissist, the traits of a narcissist is in contradiction, is opposite of an empath.
Younger girls come and eat my mother's food, and at the end of the day would say and something take from you, you will end up 6 feet beneath the ground.
Have you subscribed? I'm waiting. Also, click on the notification bell so that you can get every update that drops. Click on the like button, comment. Okay, let's do it.
So on point because it resonates so much with me. I'm also an empath, and if you don't set boundaries, to say, okay, this is where I draw the line. When someone is doing A, B, C to me, I have to take a step back. If you don't, you find out that you are going to be the one carrying so many load that you will collapse under this heavy load that you're carrying.
Honestly.
Because empathy, it's a gift from God. Actually, empaths are like light beings. I like to think of empaths like being sent into this world to help in shining lights in the darkness.
In the dark.
Yes, in the darkness in other people's lives. Because who is a narcissist? A narcissist, the traits of a narcissist is in contradiction, is opposite of an empath. Where the empath gives, the narcissist takes.
That's why you see them. You rarely can find a narcissist dating or married to a narcissist.
Yeah.
It's always
the supply comes from an empath.
And that's why you have to be very careful about the people that you share your energy with and that you let in. Because if you let in a person who is dark or who is a narcissist, you will be given too much of yourself and they will be sucking you dry.
Exactly.
Most empaths tilt towards the depression spectrum because you don't have people who is fueling you up, right? You're the one giving and exhausting yourself, and God forbid you meet someone who does not appreciate you, who is a narcissist, who is selfish and likes to take from you. You will end up 6 feet beneath the ground.
You know what happens when an empath comes in contact with a narcissist or someone with a dysfunctional behavioral disorder who is not helping the empath grow. At first, the empath thinks, I can handle this. I will love this person into being good.
Exactly.
You can't love anybody into being good.
Exactly.
The first thing you should realize as an empath, as a good person, is that you just have to do the right thing, let them be, and accept them the way they are. If possible, you can try to help them change. You can guide them into being better people. But if you notice that this is something you cannot do, leave the job for the therapist, leave it for the doctor. You can't, some empaths insert themselves into that space where they think they can doctor this person into being whole. Sometimes you lose yourself in the process.
You always do. And you become a shadow of yourself. Now, I am an empath. My mother is an empath, right? And I saw how she was sucked in by my dad, who is a narcissist, right? Over time, she was disrespected by my father. He would bring younger girls, come and eat my mother's food, and at the end of the day would say something like, for the girls, as young as they were, would say, oh, there is no salt in this food.
Wow.
In the presence of my mother. And I don't know what he would say.
Wow.
But that was
definitely not something nice.
Never nice. The fact that he even had the effrontery to bring a younger woman to the house.
Wow.
Yeah. For my mother to cook food for them. And she would do that. I can't even mention, the domestic violence that I witnessed growing up as a child. It made me make a decision at that point in time as a teenager that marriage wasn't for me. I wanted to be a nun because if all men were to be like my father, then there is no point.
Yeah.
I never really understood, what a wholesome marriage looked like. When it was so bad that even in my secondary school, right, I used to fidget. When I would be left in the classroom, like I would wait for extramural classes. Everyone had gone home. Yeah. So those who would come to class for extramural lessons, they would go home first and then come back at 3 because extramural classes then was like by 4 p.m. And then you close at 6. You go home. So me, I wouldn't go home at 1 or at 2 when we close in secondary school, right? I would wait behind.
And what will you eat?
I would eat whatever in the cafeteria, but I would be in class waiting. Empty class. When I knew that I was having a problem with the male gender was when I would be in the empty class waiting for people to start coming in. If it was just one guy who walks into the class to sit at the end of the class, I'll start to fidget
Oh my
and I'll start
gosh.
to sweat
Under
under
your
my
armpit.
armpits.
Oh,
Right? I was scared of men because of how
What you
I
saw.
saw my father treat my mother, who was an empath, who didn't have, the courage of
Boundary, yeah.
conviction to move away. Because one, she was brought from where she was in Akwa Ibom to Delta State, a strange man's land, all under the mercies of my father. So where was she going to walk?
And
Where was she going to walk?
to
Where was she going to walk away to
yeah.
in a strange man's land, right? Now, guess what? At the end of the day, my father, after he retired from Shell, left my mother.
You see, what she was afraid of, it
It
eventually
happened.
Yeah.
Until date, he's not appreciative of her. It is us, me especially, who I have eventually found my footing, who is now fighting for her.
Narcissists don't see empaths or anybody who gives them their supply. They don't see you as a human being. They see you,
As a supplier,
yes, as an object, something to
rejuvenate,
Yes.
to get themselves, to boost their ego,
And to
make them,
harvest
to make
energy
them.
from.
So if you find yourself as an empath in a family where you have people who are selfish, you have to contain your emotions.
Yes.
It's hard. Let me
hard.
tell you something. I have not been able to fully manage my emotions
Till today. Yeah.
right? And it's scary also because, number one, I am not married. I'm not in a space with a man to understand. And I'm praying, I'm hoping to God that I don't get married to the wrong person. All right. I do not get married to a person who would take advantage of the fact that I love deeply, because empaths do love
We
deeply.
love hard.
We love hard.
Yeah.
I don't fall in love easily, but when I do fall in love, I love hard. But I have come to the point where, because of my upbringing or because of what I saw my mother go through, I know instinctively that there is a limit to which you give yourself so that you do not
Lose
you do
yourself.
not lose yourself, and you're not taken for granted
Exactly.
by the person that you're loving. You have to have a balance. You have to have a place where you fill yourself up. And sometimes how I fill myself up is by talking to friends like Esther,
Yeah.
talking to friends
Especially fellow empaths.
fellow empaths, so that they can put me right on track.
Because if there's one thing that empaths are not selfish with, it's healing. It
Right.
comes, an empath can look you in the eye and give you the exact validation that you need to navigate a rough patch without holding anything back. So if you have a friend or anybody in your life who is an empath, don't hold back. Keep in touch with this person, even as you're dealing with your narcissistic family.
Yes, as an empath, you need to take care of yourself. Okay, I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. And there is more to come, I promise you. If you've not subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Like, yes, comment. Let's know what you think. Okay, and have a lovely day ahead. Bye.